I ain't scared of shit, and you gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
Question for Canelo.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch. Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass, and he gonna be next. Watch.
Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Crawford is set to be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. However, their most recent press conference turned into complete chaos.
I respect everybody, but if you fight with me, so it's gonna be different.
Terence, is that true? Did Turkey Al-Sheikh ask you to spice things up?
Turkey didn't ask me to do nothing. I didn't touch him.
You know.
Listen.
Hey, we know, buddy. We know.
First and foremost, somebody was in the room saying that I was scared of them. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this fight.
On the other hand, Floyd Mayweather reflected on his fight with Canelo Álvarez. He was honest about the Mexican star, noting that he has always had the freedom to choose his opponents. Mayweather downplayed Canelo's abilities, saying the fight was easy for him and that he beat Canelo decisively, even at nearly 40 years old. He also criticized the boxing community for putting other fighters down. While he praised Canelo, he emphasized that the fight wasn't as close as people suggested and that Canelo was never the challenge many made him out to be.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
And McIntyre, Crawford's longtime manager, also shared his thoughts on the fight. He believes the opening rounds will be close until Crawford makes his usual mid-fight adjustments. McIntyre is confident that Crawford will gain control and secure the win. Like in previous fights, he didn't reveal specific strategies, but he expects Crawford to take charge in the later rounds and finish strong.
Play out, man. You know, like I always say, it's going to be a tough few rounds, you know, until Terence makes his adjustments, and then, like he does every fight, he's going to take it over and run away with it.
How does that look like?
Well, you know, I ain't gonna put it out there like that, but I just looking for Terence to dominate. I know, going through the home stretch.
The most recent press conference for Canelo versus Crawford turned intense, with both fighters shouting insults and refusing to back down. The event featured 10 stare-downs and numerous delays, keeping everyone on edge.
I ain't scared of shit, and you gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
Question for Canelo.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me. It's gonna be me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, because you're going to be a nobody. You're going to be just like everybody else. Watch. Watch. Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Antonio Tarver expressed excitement about the upcoming fight, saying he's long admired Terence Crawford's unique energy. He sees Crawford as a major threat, a fighter with intensity that few can match. Tarver questioned whether Canelo Álvarez still has the drive to push himself, noting that his footwork has declined and he hasn't faced a true test recently. He emphasized that Canelo will need to give everything he has to handle someone as dangerous and hungry as Crawford.
I gotta ask you, Canelo Crawford, who you got? Come on, bro. I've been telling y'all for the longest. That boy got that energy. And you know what energy I'm talking about. What is that? Tarver energy, bro.
Yes, sir.
Tarver, he got that.
Yes,
and so
sir.
you know, when you get that, we don't see nobody, bro. Now he in there with a dog, Canelo. Now the Canelo footwork ain't been what it's supposed to be lately, and he hasn't fought a real threat in a long time. Now sometimes we can get so comfortable in that zone, but now you got to go down deep to get ready for Crawford. Crawford, you feel me? He got to go deep. Now we don't know if Canelo still have that in him. We gonna see. We gonna see. But now coming with it, bro.
Coach Calvin Ford shared his excitement for the Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, saying he's thrilled for both fighters. He noted it's been a while since Crawford faced another big-name opponent and praised Canelo as one of the best. Ford highlighted the significance of this matchup in the boxing world, calling it a defining moment for both athletes. He believes this fight gives fans plenty to discuss and that both men need each other at this stage of their careers to create a landmark moment in the sport.
Fighters, Crawford getting another serious young African-American, fighting him. It's been a while, you know what I'm saying? And this guy, he's alive. Canelo is the GOAT, and it's good for Terence Crawford to see that guy, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for Canelo to see him. It gives something for the boxing world to talk about, and everybody looking forward to it.
When asked how he would prepare Crawford for a fight against boxing's biggest star, Ford said he wouldn't change a thing. He pointed out that Crawford has been dominant, especially in his dismantling of Errol Spence Jr., a fight many expected to be competitive but turned out one-sided. Ford compared that performance to the intensity of Hagler versus Hearns, though with a surprising result. He believes that if both Canelo and Crawford perform at their best, fans could finally witness the epic showdown they've been waiting for.
Why would I change up what he's been doing? He's been winning. He's been getting the job done. When he shut down Earl, that was perfect. It ain't like he ain't been in no big fights. That was a fight everybody thought they was gonna get a roller coaster, and it went turns.
That was Hagler Hearns. You thought you didn't know what was gonna happen.
We didn't get that.
And he dominated.
We didn't get that fight that we thought we was gonna get.
Yeah.
And then seeing Canelo and him do it, everybody said, "Man, we might get the fight that we're gonna get."
Max Kellerman shared his thoughts on the significance of the Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, placing it among the greatest boxing events he's ever seen. He compared it to legendary bouts featuring Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and the epic clash between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko. Kellerman believes this matchup could surpass them all. He emphasized that while past fights were huge, this one might take the top spot because of its scale and perfect timing.
Where would you rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched?
In terms of the magnitude of the
magnitude,
fight? I mean, of the fights that I've called ringside, it might turn out to be number 1. I've done Pacquiao fights, I've done Mayweather fights, I've done Anthony Joshua.
Kellerman also pointed out that with Netflix involved, this could become the most watched title fight in nearly 50 years. He referenced Muhammad Ali's 1978 rematch with Leon Spinks, which drew 90 million TV viewers, a record that still stands. While past pay-per-view events like Mayweather versus Pacquiao attracted millions, Kellerman noted that streaming could reach far more people. If household viewership holds steady, this fight could draw a record-breaking audience for modern boxing. From a commercial perspective, he's confident it will be the biggest boxing event he's ever covered.
This will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in 78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, that's 20 million people. This is going to do multiples of that. So so when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever covered.
Jim Lampley discussed Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Álvarez, recalling a conversation with Larry Merchant about whether Crawford could win. Merchant responded confidently, emphasizing that smart movement, precise timing, and clever technique can overcome size differences. He pointed out that if Crawford uses his footwork, stays off the center line, and lands clean shots while avoiding heavy exchanges, he has a real chance. The key, Merchant added, is to keep moving, mix up attacks, and never stay in one spot.
I asked the great Larry Merchant very recently. I said, is there any way in your mind that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez? And Larry said to me, Jim, did Ray Leonard get a decision win over Marvin Hagler? I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could have gotten a decision win over Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then yes, absolutely, Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Álvarez because it's the same thing. It's the same size difference to a certain degree. Wow. It's a very similar style difference. And there's a blueprint there. If Crawford looks at what Leonard did, get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, land to the body, get out, get in, land upstairs, get out, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, and always the footwork, never standing in the same place. If Crawford has the energy to do that, there's a chance.
Lampley noted that while Canelo has one of the best chins in boxing, Crawford doesn't need a knockout to win. He believes Crawford can take the fight on points by sticking to a disciplined strategy, managing distance, and pacing himself throughout all 12 rounds. Despite the challenge, Lampley emphasized that with the right adjustments and focus, Crawford has a real chance to outbox and outmaneuver Canelo. Meanwhile, Dan Rafael expressed concerns about attributing Canelo's struggles against Billy Joe Saunders solely to the opponent. He argued that the real issue is the long-term toll of Canelo's career, which began when he was a teenager. Rafael stressed that it's not just the number of fights, but the total time spent in the ring that eventually takes a toll even on the best athletes.
I just can't get over how bad he was against Skull. I'm not convinced that it was just a bad style. I think that he's just to the point after, all these years of being a professional since he's 15, 16 years old, that takes a toll, man. It's all the sparring, it's all the fights, it's the wear and tear on your body. And I have made this point before. To me, it's not so much about the number of fights, it's how many rounds do you have? Here's the harsh reality. Canelo Álvarez has literally double the number of pro rounds that Terence Crawford does, even though Canelo is younger.
Rafael highlighted that Canelo has fought over 500 professional rounds, more than twice the number Crawford has faced in his career. This huge difference shows how much punishment Canelo has absorbed while consistently facing top-level opponents, from seasoned veterans to tough contenders. Those countless rounds have taken a significant toll on his body. Rafael believes that Canelo's accumulated mileage could have a major impact on how he performs against a fresh and sharp fighter like Crawford.
500-something rounds as a professional now, Canelo. Crawford hasn't even hit 300 rounds as a professional. That's a big difference.
That's another factor then we can look into this fight. There's so many factors to it, like you say, Dan. Now, you did touch on it.
It's 520 rounds for Canelo Álvarez as a professional. And it's 245 rounds as a professional for Terence Crawford. Yeah. That's a dramatic difference. Think about the wear and tear you might take in an extra 200 plus rounds. And it's not like Canelo's fighting guys who can't fight. He's fighting top level, world championship level fighters, one after the other after the other. If you looked at a guy like William Skull or John Ryder or somebody like that and say, that was like his so-called worst opponent over the last several years, that's still pretty solid. Those are still real guys.
Buffer predicted an intense and exciting fight between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, emphasizing skill and talent over sheer power. When asked about UFC President Dana White promoting the bout, Buffer praised him as one of the best sports promoters ever. He said White would bring fresh energy to boxing and knows how to manage major events, despite past criticism from figures like Oscar de la Hoya. Buffer made it clear that he fully supports White's move into the boxing world.
Not a big fight unless you're announcing it. Canelo versus Crawford. How do you see that one going?
I think it's going to be a close and interesting fight.
Right.
I think it's going to be a technical fight, not a power fight.
Now, what do you think about Dana White promoting it? You think
he's only proven himself to be one of the greatest promoters in the history of sports. So
he's good for a good deal. He's good for boxing.
Oh yeah, he'll know what to do.
Because some people like De La Hoya have been a little critical of him, but he has the Michael Buffer approval, obviously. For sure. You're the man. Thank you.
John Ted noted that Terence Crawford usually engages in punching exchanges, and when he does get hit, it's often by a straight right hand. This seems to be a common tactic against him, likely because as a southpaw who isn't naturally left-handed, his stance creates a predictable opening. Crawford's toughness, quick feet, and agility help him avoid serious damage. Ted observed that Crawford often takes punches in a calculated way, similar to how Sugar Ray Leonard would, using openings to set up counters. He gives his opponent a small window before quickly moving out of range and striking with precision. This approach shows Crawford not just as a skilled technician, but as a strategic fighter who thrives under pressure.
On some homework on Terence Bud Crawford. I was going to put together video clip of how Terence Bud Crawford loves to trade. So while I was trying to put that together, I noticed that when he is getting hit in the exchange, it's usually by a straight right. So much so that I've noticed that his ops plan to land the straight right. These fighters literally study Crawford and plan on throwing a straight right because he's a southpaw and he's not a natural southpaw. So they actually plan for it. It's just that Terence Crawford is so damn durable and good and athletic that even when they're landing it, he's okay. And a lot of times he kind of make them miss, or he'll give them his face like Sugar Ray Leonard, love him to death, and he'll step back and go bang because his feet are so good. That's why I said he's a fighter. Crawford is more of a fighter than a slick fighter.
Jiren Butanis is leaning toward Canelo Álvarez in a potential matchup, pointing out that Canelo has defeated larger opponents even though 168 pounds isn't his natural weight class, and some of his opponents may weigh near 200 pounds on fight night, yet he still handles them effectively. He sees the fight as an exciting event that fans are eagerly anticipating. Butanis also suggested that Terence Crawford take a warm-up fight at around 160 pounds to adjust to the size difference, build strength, and stay sharp without a long layoff.
I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm up fight. At like 60 or like at least at 60, just to get his body, the feeling of somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavy and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now. But I think he should just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Shannon Briggs, on the other hand, strongly backed Terence Crawford in a potential fight against Canelo Álvarez, saying Crawford would definitely win. He spoke about Crawford all day and even predicted a knockout. Although Briggs doesn't usually gamble, he said he would this time because of his confidence. He repeatedly claimed that Crawford would dominate Canelo and finish the fight by knockout. While he didn't make an official pick, Briggs made it clear he supports Crawford, noting that Crawford has more tools and can adapt in the ring, whether on his feet or up close. He praised Canelo as a great fighter but described his style as more limited, relying mainly on pressure, head movement, and counterpunching. Briggs believes Crawford's speed and agility will allow him to outbox Canelo.